this video from Pride Martial Arts. Today we're going to do a quick video on how to punch properly from a straddle leg stance and how to do a low block, a high block, and a knife hand block in a back stance. All of these things put together is everything you need to know how to do to earn a blue stripe as a white belt. We're going to start by punching in a straddle leg stance. Now, if you need any review on how to do a straddle leg stance, you can view our prior video on basic stances. So, straddle leg stance, left arm out, looks like this. Now, if you'll notice, my punch is at solar plexus level. I don't want to punch up here by my nose or over here by my shoulder or down here by my groin. I want to punch right in the middle of my body at my solar plexus level. For these purposes, as a white belt, you're always going to be punching to your solar plexus level. As you move on in the ranks, we may say sometimes punch to your nose level, punch to your groin level. We may have you go sideways and do a side punch. We may have you do all kinds of different things. But for this purpose right now, all we're going to do is punch in the middle of our body in a straddle leg stance. So you'll hear the instructor say straddle leg stance, left arm out. When you hear that, you go, ah! Just like that. Notice my hand pulled back to my hip all the way, not sideways, not kind of pulled back to my hip, all the way back to my hip. Notice I'm in a good stance, and my punch is right in the center of my body. After that, we're going to say single punches, and we're going to count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll notice every single punch remained in the center of my body, and every single time I punched, my opposite hand came back to my hip, nice and strong. So when you punch, you want to make sure that your punch comes out really, really strong. But equally as strong is the hand that's coming back to the hip. So when you punch, your hand comes back nice and strong, like that. The other thing you want to know when you're punching in this position is that when you punch, you don't want to immediately take this hand and put it back to your hip. You don't want to punch like that, pull this hand and then punch. What you want to do is keep this hand out at solar plexus level, and in slow motion, it's going to look like this. I'm punching, I'm punching, I'm punching. At the last second, when the punch turns over, that's when we switch. And you'll notice the punch locks out right when the hand comes back to the hip. It's not punch and then hip, or hip and then punch. It happens at the same time. And that's your tutorial on how to punch in a straddle leg stance. Okay, now that we've gone over how to punch in a straddle leg stance, we're going to learn how to throw a low block, a high block, and a knife hand block from a back stance. These are 3 of the basic blocks that we do here at Pride Martial Arts, and we're going to do them from a basic stance, our back stance. Again, if you need any help learning anything about the stances that we're talking about in this video, please view our prior video on basic stances, and you'll learn everything you need to know. The first thing you're going to hear the instructor say is back stance, left leg forward. It's going to look like this. Once you're in a back stance, we can fold for our first block, which is called a low block. A low block is exactly what it sounds like. It goes low, low block. So if you ever have trouble remembering where to put the block, just think of the name of the block. It's a low block. It tells you exactly what to do. We're going to start by folding. Our front hand is going to be doing all the work for the low block, the high block, and the knife hand block. How do we know it's our front hand? Well, we know this is our front foot, right? It's facing forward. And this hand is connected to this foot, so it's got to be our front hand. This is our back leg, so this must be our back hand. Our front hand is going to be doing all the work today. So folding for a low block, we're going to take a fist, we're going to put it to our ear, just like this. And we're going to take our other hand, make a fist, and we're going to punch it out solar plexus level. So the fold looks like this. Nice and strong. Now that we've folded, we want to make sure when we block right over our leg. A lot of people, when they're first learning, have a tendency to block past the leg over here, or maybe not block far enough. Maybe they'll block in the middle down here. We want to block right over our leg, directly over our leg. So we fold, palm to our ear, all the way on our ear. A lot of people go to the shoulder, maybe over here, not touching the ear. We want to be right on our ear. When we block, we're going to go straight down. Our hand comes back to our hip, and our block, again, goes right over our leg. This is in case somebody's trying to kick us in the leg. We're going to block them away. Now the block, how do we know where to put it? How do we know not to put it up here, not to put it down here on our leg? Well, the rule is we're going to do this block 6 inches above our leg. So we're going to fold again. Low block, fold. Does this punch remind you of something? That's right, the straddle leg stance and punching right at your solar plexus. We're going right to our solar plexus. Fold and block. Moving on to the high block. The high block, we're going to get back in our back stance. And we're going to block up, you guessed it, high. You've got to learn to listen to the names of what we say, because all the names of all of our moves, most of our moves, really give you a clue as to what to do. So if you ever forget what you're doing, just think of the name of what you're doing. It's going to help remind you. Back stance, like forward, high block, fold. Front hand, remember, it's doing all the work. We're going to make a fist. We're going to put it down to our belt, just like this, across our body. Palm is up towards the ceiling. Our other hand makes a fist. We're going to put it right on top, just like that. High block, up, high, above our head. This is to protect from an overhead strike. So when you block, you want to make sure that you're really covering your head. You don't want to block over here where your head is still vulnerable to an attack. You don't want to block down here where your head can still be reached. You want to block up above your head, covering your whole head, and you want your arm at a 45-degree angle, almost like somebody could hit you and slide off your arm. Okay? So we're going to fold again. Front hand is folding, palm up, other hand, palm down, so the fold looks like this. High block, fold, down like this. And we're going to block. Block. Where did my hand go? Back to my hip, just like it did with the low block. Fold again. Fold. Block. Right up above the head. And that's your high block. The next block, the last block you're going to do for your blue stripe or for your white belt test is called a knife hand block. Now, a knife hand looks like this. Our fingers are together, nice and strong. Our thumb is tucked. The tips of our fingers are bent. If you need to know more about the knife hand, please view our previous videos on basic hand techniques. For right now, I'm just going to make a knife hand just like this, okay? And the knife hand, remember how I said low block goes down low, high block goes up high. Knife hand block doesn't give you a direction. So you're just going to have to know that it goes out sideways, okay? So again, we're going to start from our back stance. Back stance, look like forward. You're going to fold for a knife hand block. It's going to look very much like a low block fold. The hand is punched out right to our solar plexus. This hand is to our ear, only this time, instead of a low block where it's closed like this, we're opening it up for a knife hand block. When we block, this hand is going to pull back to our hip, and this hand is going to go out, crossing our face. We don't want to leave it in front of our face. We want to clear our face all the way. But how do we know when to stop? How come it doesn't go all the way over here? Well, we're going to make sure that our elbow is right over our leg. Okay? So we fold again, fold. Now notice, solar plexus level, elbow in, palm on my ear, not on my shoulder, not hovering over my ear, actually on my ear. When I block, we know where to stop it so we don't go too wide because it goes over our leg. But how do we know it doesn't go down here? And how do we know it doesn't go up here? Well, the rule that we use here is it goes eyebrow level. So I'm going to go just as high as my eyebrows. So it's going to clear my face, it's going to go eyebrow level, and it's going to go elbow above my leg. Knife hand block, fold, block, low block, fold, block, high block, fold, block, knife hand, fold, block. And those are our 3 basic blocks. So now, you know your basic punches in a straddle leg stance, and you know low block, high block, and knife hand block, and back stance. If you practice hard enough, you may be ready to test for your blue stripe.